The Hebrew word for soul is nephesh, and it's repeatedly described as longing or wanting or desiring or striving. And when the will has become enslaved by its need, when the mind has become obsessed with the object of its desires, when the appetite of the body has become master rather than servant, the soul is disordered. The ultimate reality behind human dissatisfaction is sinful souls that have been cut off from the God who made them to rest in Him. And that's why we're dissatisfied. Our souls are always craving, never satisfied, never at rest. I mean, consider a job. How many are dissatisfied? Research with University of Chicago recently listed the top least happy jobs in the world and the 10 happiest. What they found was the 10 least happy jobs actually were more financially lucrative and offered higher status than the 10 happiest jobs. And what do you think the difference was? What made those people happier in those jobs? It was a higher sense of meaning. The main thing you bring back from work is your soul. I mean, work is a soul function. We were made to create and bring value, which always stands in tension with being focused on consuming. A paradox of the soul is that it is incapable of satisfying itself, but it is also incapable of living without satisfaction. The soul craves to be secure. The soul craves to be loved. The soul craves to be significant. And we find these only in God in a form that can satisfy us. And that's why the psalmist says to God, "Because your love is better than life, my soul will be satisfied as with the richest of foods." Our souls crave because it was meant for God. My soul finds rest in God. Jesus said if you devote your life to pleasing yourself, you'll actually destroy your soul. Whereas if you place honoring God above pleasing yourself, then your soul will be truly satisfied. Here's a homework assignment for you, and it comes from the writing in the book by Dallas Willard. If you want to really experience the flow of love as never before, the next time you are in a competitive situation around work or relationship or whose kids are in the highest achieving or looks or whatever, pray that the other around you will be more outstanding, more praised, and more used of God than yourself. Really pull for them and rejoice in their success. If Christians were universally to do this for each other, the earth would soon be filled with the knowledge of the glory of God. The fact is, our souls are satisfied through worship. Orper gives the example of a paramedic who's called to a drug overdose, and when he enters the house, it smells, it's dirty, there's drug paraphernalia all over the place. And when he observed this and saw the individual who was cowering in the corner near death from overdose, he said in that moment, he said, "I understood the depth of meaning of worship." This is a case where an individual began to crave something and worship it to the point where they lost all their freedom. But we center who we are in the presence and purpose of God when we find fulfillment in doing things that reflect the nature of God's grace and love and compassion and reconciling work in the world. It makes all the difference. Our souls find their rest in God. And it's not the things we acquire, but we just celebrate the things God has offered, and we allow our souls to rest in God's purpose. That's what brings